The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends, and what are we up? We're up 33 points on the S&P cash, 2396, and this is a pretty sweet setup. A lot of people attributing a bounce today to the speech last night from the president, and my thought was, didn't matter what was going on there. This is to fatten up the market, to roll out the Snap IPO in the next couple of days. So yeah, I think you've got just about all the front loading you can on trying to get this market all jazzed up for a dubious IPO. We get the pricing after the bell tonight. What do you say? I think it just, if it smells like a duck, and it's white like a duck, and maybe even if it quacks like a duck, maybe it's a duck. But a lot of money to be made on this IPO. One of the things I did think it was forgot to tell you that every day we come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
But what I was going to say is that some very juicy rumors that I've heard before that are untrue are around today, and that is that it started spreading around that many people buying the Snap IPO have decided that they will sign a document saying that they will hold their positions for at least a year. And the only problem is this isn't some kind of restriction. This is just kind of like a promise. And we know what those are worth on Wall Street, not much. But trying to juice the market a little bit. I suspect we've got at least kind of a high watermark for the next week, maybe even longer. I would not, although I am short, would not say that we are going down, but would say that the chances of going up are probably very little or almost none after this move. Not a lot of basis for it, seeing so many stocks fail up at these areas. Volume today in the indexes, again, very strong, 2.6 billion shares as we start the show. We were looking for 2 and 2.2 billion in the days before, so we're a good 400 million shares ahead. So this is going to be a day with a lot of volume. The downside is when you add up the volumes of the stocks underneath, most of them are not getting that kind of love. So tonight's scan for me are going to be very interesting, but it's not uncommon to see an IPO come out, soak up all the at least temporary cash in the market, and see the market back a little. I'm not saying that the wheels will fall off the wagon, although I have a lot of way out of the money puts and think that that is the best way to sit out this thing till we find something that gives us a lot more ability to buy a low that's been retested instead of just trying to get on the gravy train and hope that we don't one day wake up and look down at the dice and they've shown up as snake eyes. But I think we've kind of, they're probably going to try to hold this up until the IPO trades. But I just, there's going to be a lot of cash going out, probably the amount going out or going into the market last month into a single stock. And you can see just how quickly that giant sponge called Snap can suck up all the cash in the markets, at least for a few weeks. Anyway, 2.6 billion shares as we start the show. We'll talk more about this, go through a lot of stocks today. In the meantime, we always start the show with a little bit of history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
No, I want Beavis and Butthead saying, giving them the taser. I'll find it eventually. Yes, I recall Alibaba. It sucked up pretty good for about maybe 6 weeks. Kind of did it, and we're kind of at that level. But these guys are they're all in on kicking this thing out. So does it trade tomorrow morning? Who knows? But my guess is it prices tonight, and as it prices, that will tell us whether or not they have to do any adjustments to what they're doing. And if they do, then maybe it's Friday before the thing trades. But if it starts trading by 10:30 tomorrow, I suspect that the best you can hope for is sideways for a few days. And the worst you can look at is probably a total retrace by Friday of this bounce today. So I am not optimistic, nor have I been. But as I said before, I have a lot of way out of the money puts on individual stocks. And I'm not going to be surprised to see any one of those waking up and seeing any one of those 30% lower. They all have tremendous weaknesses. And I'm kind of feeling a little froggy to add some index positions out here too. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Oh, did I do my history?
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And why history does not repeat itself exactly. It does rhyme fairly closely. On this day in 1932, the first big crime of the century before O.J. Has captured the attention of the entire nation. Charles Lindbergh III, the 20-month-old son of aviation hero Charles Lindbergh, is kidnapped from the family's new mansion in Hopewell, New Jersey. Lindbergh, who became an international celebrity when he flew the first solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean in 1927, and his wife Anne discovered a ransom note demanding $50,000 in their son's empty room. Besides being a big, high-flying case, this is also the first time that you really saw forensic evidence used very extensively in a case in the United States. It was fairly common in England and Europe because, of course, of the novels about the detective and how popular they were. But they went and matched some of the rafters to a ladder, a homemade ladder that was made. And the guy literally cut like half the rafter part out like he was in one of those Escape from Stalag 17 movies and put together kind of a cheesy ladder. Well, the ladder was so cheesy that when they were extracting the boy, they dropped him, the best look. And he was pretty much dead from day one. They found him. One of the other guys took off, was on a ship to Europe like a day later after this happened. They never caught him. But one guy was electrocuted, and we had laws against kidnapping from then on. We'll see you after the break.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we come back, no, we're not giving him the phaser. We're giving him a taser. Anyway, after the bell tonight, Adaptus Health, Blue Buffalo Pet Products, kind of rough start to that IPO. It's done better lately. Avago, which is Broadcom, RF Micro Devices, a bunch of others that all kind of got swept up into one bigger company so they could go up against Qualcomm. Generon Corporation, which is Biopharma, Gulfmark Offshore, Puma Biotechnology. I think that is already actually out. Maybe that came out this morning. I'll look at that again. And Shake Shack after the bell tonight. So let's go ahead and get into some of these charts. You can certainly give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, or you can put a message in the den. What else do we have? Okay. Weight Watchers. Well, I don't know how great a celebrity endorsement is, but certainly Oprah has done a lot of good and bad for this company. Two really big jumps out here. Look for the third. If I was long this thing, you might be calling this one right now the top. I would. Unfortunately, I wish this one was a little cleaner at $11, because if it was, I would say that was the end of the three-gap play. But really, you got two nice big gaps out here, and I would think that maybe you get one more out of them up into the $21 range. What else did we have out here? Earnings before the bell, American Eagle Outfitters. It's still horrible to be a mall clothing retailer for teens. Back into the gap up from May 19th last year. That had some decent volume of 20.5 million shares. You're down on about 13 million shares. So this thing may find a low around $13 where it will hang out. Air Methods, a company that sells a lot of stuff, a lot of gases for manufacturing and welding and all that kind of stuff. So they tend to do pretty well. Thing kind of gapped up to its previous highs, but did not hold it on earnings this morning. We've talked about GoPro and what's happening with Ambarella. They make the compression chips. I was talking with John Logan this morning. The problem is, for GoPro, which Ambarella is really kind of locked to, and others. What do you do with a company that there are not a lot of barriers to entry on? Ambarella made kind of a high-end compression chip for those cameras that did video. It had a nice kind of bounce off the 4680 level not too long ago, January 23rd. Energy has not been all that exciting. It's come up. It filled its gap kind of this morning and reversed out here. You had a huge gap down day of 6.4 million shares on the 2nd of December, and you got into it with about 3.2 million shares today. So, again, a lot of these things are just coming up to resistance levels. Best Buy, this is a pretty almost cyclical stock after Christmas. Very tough to see these things ever hold up until, you kind of want to buy these things September and be out by Christmas. For the most part, when they're selling stuff, even earlier sometimes, maybe the first couple of weeks of December, if you were looking for a cyclical trade. But this thing's back up into its gap up that had pretty good volume, 25.5 million shares going back to November 17th. Back in January 5th, you tested it with a little less than 4 million shares. The downside today is that the forecast is fairly horrific. And I think that they're only down this much says a great deal for how bad they think business is going to be throughout the summer. They think that they've sold most of the big screens they're going to be sold, and don't think that there's anything else coming out to really replace it. Even sales on console systems and games not making up for it. Apple sales fairly low. And just almost nothing to say that there's even a sliver of hope for Best Buy. I don't think it's going out of business, but pretty bleak outlook from those folks. Chicago Bridge and Iron, we wanted to see how this one did after the speech last night, and then just down a little bit, probably because he didn't spend a lot of time on that part of it with a little bit of details. Chewy's Holdings, now we can call it recent IPO, but it's been around for not that long. Opened lower, did go higher out here today, some decent volume. I still think that you want to look at this one to back down at the 25.87 low, which takes you back to October 11th of last year. Salesforce came and went with not much fanfare. I don't watch Kramer, but normally that is the go-to guy when they want to do this up. Huge volume today, testing the previous high of May 26. Doing so is at 5.8 million shares at 84.48. Now, you were about a dime short on it today as it spiked it with 10 million shares, but wasn't able to hold that. I wasn't that impressed with the numbers. They should have been doing a lot more. I have a feeling it has a lot more to do with the way that the market traded today. I would watch for a fade on that one, maybe next quarter. Like I said, that stock is absolutely priced for perfection, and you probably should have seen that thing really blow away the numbers, and it did not. So I think that one could be in trouble. ETSY blowing through the lows. We talked about this troubled IPO again, and how the management tend to be a lot of hippie types and not really thinking that much about the shareholders, kind of like Facebook originally. They said, well, profits will eventually come, and no one really liked that from Facebook, and no one likes it from Etsy either. This is back into this big breakout area that this had back in August of 2016. And you had about 9.4 million shares. We got about 7 million now as it goes back into that same area. So this thing could be giving it up. And I just don't see a lot in this unless they wipe the management out of this company and put some people in there that want to turn that into a craft powerhouse. And I'm not talking about craft beer. We're talking about little things like woolen hats, other things, crocheted things, all the little things that collect dust around your house if you're a woman. I don't have to have all those things because I'm a guy. Lowe's Corporation, LOW. This thing blew away everything. Huge volume, back up to the highs, but not able to hold the highs. We'll talk about this when we come back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And what you want to take a look at is the Lowe's company, $82.88 on July 12th. We went through that almost shy 3 cents today. But we're going to have 4 times the volume and probably not be able to hold that July 12th, 2016 high in Lowe's. We went right through the gap. We're going to have tons of volume. This thing gap down with 19 million shares, so we're going to go through that higher. But man, it's certainly doesn't jive with what you see in HD. Had a lot of discussion in the den about what's going on. No, I was not short Palo Alto. I didn't like it. Did like that it went up and filled this heavy gap down from November 22nd that had about 12 million shares with about 1.7 million shares on February 15th. I just haven't had a lot of luck holding through earnings these days, so didn't do it. But man, certainly I wouldn't have been long, let me put it that way. But huge volume down and blow away. This thing looks like it's going to do the 114 low of June 27th. And then if you go back even farther, this thing looks as it breaks this February 8th, 2016 low at 111, as can go all the way back down to the $70 mark. So can be some huge destruction in this stock. It was never my favorite in that sector, just because a lot of people kind of do what we do already. But it was the favorite. Oh man, people love this stock on the street when it was on the way up, and of course they were very quick to sell it on the way down. Ross Stores, again, we were talking about these clothing retailers, down on some significant volume today. 64.58's the next low from January 31st to look at that. Even the mall retailer non-mall retailers are looking pretty weak. Stamps.com, this one kind of moved down today. And of course, on a day like this, if a stock goes up, probably not a big story. But if they're not going up on a day like this, kind of a big story. Stamps.com looks like it may have finally started to break this uptrend level. And yeah, let's see. You know, you really broke it a couple of days ago. What I would like to see in this one, if I was going to short it, is exactly maybe, no, let's go here to the displaced moving average, is a close back above the 3x3 displaced moving average, and then short the next close. So didn't really get a good signal out here to pull the trigger on this thing short. But man, if this thing could get back up maybe 130 area and then close back below this in the next few days, this one looks like it could make its way back down to the $70 range, where this you've got just a mass of gaps are. And no, I'm not a big fan of the mail system long term. I just kind of, with Pitney Bowes going away and a lot of other stuff, just doesn't seem to me like this is a long-term solution to shipping. But, you know, you can be the last buggy whip manufacturer, right? Taser, give them the taser. That's why I needed the taser Beavis and Butthead drop, not a sound effect. Came down to 22.91 today, had a lot of volume. There wasn't really anything to hang your hat on this one, other than, as I said before, when you're in these asymmetrical triangles with lower highs and higher lows, this wasn't one of the most beautiful, but kind of was one. A lot of times the first move is the false breakout. And if everybody's going to keep forming these groups and paying them to go out and riot, maybe Taser business is going to be good. TSL, Trina Solar, little pop out here. This thing's been against resistance at about 1050, gave back about half of what it had this morning. Don't know if you can make a great deal out of that. Treso, TSRO, the symbol on this one, down on a little bit. And of course, we've already done Weight Watchers. What are they talking about in the den here? Kramer. You know, I don't have a chart for this or anything, so don't go all excited in the engineering producers room at TFNN. But I did see something that I found incredibly interesting yesterday. and that is that the numbers are out now for financial infotainment TV. And for the first 2 months in a row, I guess they come out for cable every 2 months. For the last 2 months, CNBC is not the biggest name in financial news anymore. Anybody have a guess who it is? Anybody have a guess? A fledgling, small cable company no one thought much of. There were big ones, worldwide ones. They had offices all over the world. Now they've got ratings of about 1/4 of this company. Yep, Fox has blown away for the last 2 months. And my guess is just that after the election, they were putting on a lot of people like John, what's his name, Harwood. And it just kind of very tough to watch him knowing that they continue to have him on. And he was the shill, of course, that was making sure poor Bernie didn't get anywhere. Besides, being a flack for one of the political parties. It's just awful hard. If you're going to have a reporter and he gets caught with his hands in the cookie jar, I think you got to dump him. I think that really hurt CNBC over the last few months. But who knows? But, there's always, as my boss used to say, you don't want to leave the wrong door open or the wrong dog may come home. And I think they left a door open by not giving him the boot and bringing in a real journalist that wasn't out trying to affect the political cause he was covering. But just my opinion. But, yep, now you've got Bloomberg, you've got Fox Business News, and you've got CNBC. And I don't think Bloomberg is really that much. You occasionally watch it, but for the most part, I think maybe it's more of an insider thing, maybe a New York thing. But I think their ratings are about 25% of what CNBC's are normally, so not very much. But I haven't watched it lately. But interesting thought, though. I just was very surprised to see that. I never really thought that they were doing that much. But again, it took them about 10 years to overwhelm MSNBC and CNBC. Is there any other ones? I think those are the major ones. For Fox to overwhelm them, and now they've overwhelmed both Bloomberg and CNBC. So there may be a sea change on where you go when you want to pimp your stock. I don't have any delusions as the fact that Fox Business News will be any better than CNBC when it comes onto self-serving guests, but it may be what moves the market in the near future. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN has just launched a special event in Tampa with Tom O'Brien taking place March 18th, sponsored by Nadex. Tom O'Brien will be presenting 2 workshops for a combined 2.5 hours of education, bisecting and dissecting his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. March 18th kicks off with a continental breakfast as we get everyone checked in, and that is followed by 2 75-minute workshops with Tom O'Brien. The first workshop from 8:45 until 10 a.m. will cover quality volume, cause and effect, and ABC structures, and the second workshop from 10:15 until 11:30 a.m. will cover swing points, testing, and the Tiger Gartley. Tom will then wrap things up with a question and answer session, which will be followed by a Tiger Luncheon Social on the rooftop of the Westin Hotel. The best part is that it's all free, but you must register to attend. Visit the front page of TFNN.com for all the details and to sign up today, and we hope to see you in Tampa on March 18th.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And John from Fort Walton Beach wants to take a look at the TLT. And not that much juice out here on this thing, huge gap down. But again, I've been saying or thinking that, you got a high volume low. You actually got several of them. But the ones at 115 and 116 haven't been tested. And this thing really looks like it wants to go back and test the 116.80 low of December 14th last year, and then the November 9th, 2015 low. So probably somewhere in there, my guess is that you're going to have a little panic selling. It's going to go through the 116.80, maybe down to the 115s, and that's going to be it. It just seems to be, I don't have any positions in these, no. Someone IM me here. But they're just, this and the dollar seem to be trading rather wildly, and I can imagine that a lot of people probably trading the dollar index may be broke by now, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason in the way this thing trades, mostly because you've got big countries with a couple people making big decisions overnight about how to manipulate their currency, both the U.S. and China. And I don't know what you can say about it other than that. This thing is like watching a game of Pong, just back and forth every night between these, one day to the next. Very tough. Dollar index trading at 101.73. And you could kind of make a case right now that this thing is an ABC up on a buck. So that would take you to about 102.50 approximately. So, if we wake up and this thing's 102.50, that may be the completion of this ABC up in the dollar, at least in a shorter time frame. But again, all it takes is somebody in China to get miffed about something and dump a bunch of yuan or other currencies and change it all over again. Probably the reason I dislike trading currencies the most. That is, you're at the whim of some country and a couple of people making decisions. And, of course, we never really know who it is. So it could be people here in the United States wanting a stronger dollar. But my guess is it's a continuation of what we've seen for the last year, which is China dumping huge amounts of U.S. treasuries, causing weakness in those, and, of course, dumping yuan and making a stronger dollar. What else do we have? Oil's off 17 cents, no big deal. Gold did kind of come back a bit. It's still off $6, but much worse earlier in the day. And I think, what was it, about 1 o'clock, 1:30 maybe, that we saw a lot of those ETFs in the miners at least go back to unchanged on the day. So maybe the worst of the last few days is over, but still didn't look good. What else do we have? You can call me at 877-927-6648. See if what else we have out here. Did we look at the rest of these? Taser. Let's look at a few others that have been moving today. Dollar Tree. This is up about 1.5%. Yeah, kind of gave back a little bit. I don't see a lot in that one. TSL. What's this? TSL. Travel Trina Solar Limited. We did do that one. Oh, we didn't get to PBYI. Maybe the no, maybe I had a bad tick earlier this morning. I thought that one is scheduled for after the bell tonight. And again, well, you had the lower low out here at 29.60 on January 23rd, but I still don't see a lot in that one, either pro or con to go after. Mylan Pharmaceuticals, MYL, up 6% today. Nice little pop. Not a lot of energy back off this low of November 3rd, which is not surprising. Nice little doji out here. What you wouldn't like to see in this one, of course, is a nice gap down tomorrow morning, giving you a nice little shooting star, abandoned baby, whatever you want to call it out there. So, but you've got half the setup today, but the first tick tomorrow would be very interesting in Mylan Pharmaceuticals. What else do we have? LQ. Lowe's, we got that. Dollar Tree, Crocs, not moving much. CRM, Chewy's, CBI. Did I get all these here methods? I think so. Got a great deal of these. Anyway, let's see what else is going on out here. Now, let's go to some of the scans that I've been looking at. Got plenty of time today. See if there's anything else out here. Let's go from the end. TGP. TK LNG Partners. As natural gas gets cheaper and cheaper, some of these LNG shipping companies, which I think is what this one is. Let's just make sure. Sometimes I forget. Yeah. Transportation for liquefied natural gas. Again, any of these, as you add more pipelines, are going to do better. But this thing's had a nice run. As natural gas has come down, this thing has done well. Of course, probably the best thing for them, since it's expensive to liquefy natural gas, is to have a cheap input price for those tanker trucks. South Jersey, we talked about this one. Not a whole lot more of a development in that one. Portland General Electric. A lot of these safety stocks right up here at the highs. One opened a little lower today, but found yet another high today, but not a lot of volume, which is kind of tracking most of these companies. 445,000 shares is what you're looking for. You need 1.5 million shares for the July 6th high for POR. OC, Owings Corning, not the OC, Orange County, has gapped above the previous high of July 27th that had 5.4 million shares with less than 900,000 shares. So you are going through that without much of a sign of strength. Orbital ATK is another one finding highs. Now this is the competitor to the Elon Musk company for satellite distribution. And of course, Amazon's owner is kind of in this camp with his stuff. You need 1.4 million shares. You got about half that yesterday, and not a lot today out here. What do you got? 188,000 shares. So again, I'm going to say maybe 1/4 of the stocks that I've looked at the last few days that have broken highs have done something approximating a sign of strength. Most of them have done something like this, and that's why I'm not going to be very surprised to see a lot of these dip right back in. Orbital ATK, though, if you're into satellites, you can't really go after Musk because his isn't a public company yet, but this one is one you want to look at. OA, it's a consortium of many of those guys out there, I think including Boeing. And Jeff Bezos' company, Blue Origin. We'll be back in a minute.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, we hit 2,400 on the S&P cash. And I can take my party hat off that, 21,000 on the Dow, and all the other reasons to have your party hat on. Anyway, I think I forgot to bring it up, but I did see it earlier. And I don't know what month it's for. I just saw it flash across, but it did say Fed futures are 90% chance of a rate hike now. And I wonder if that means March. Somebody then brought up that there are going to be a bunch of Fed speakers over the next week. So my guess is they're going to be a little hawkish with the recent move in the market. But just my opinion. Again, you never know what's going to go on in one person's mind. When you got a market, you got probably a much better idea. But pretty interesting movement out here. So what else do we have we want to look at before the end of the day? Got a question to look at IBM. Again, heavily pushed by Mr. Buffett. I think this thing's just really been going sideways for the last week. Not a lot of volume on this one on the bounce today. What do you got? 1.9 million shares so far. The last high on February 16th had 4.5 million shares. So again, a lot of these stocks, when I'm looking at volume inside the actual shares of the stocks themselves, pretty low today, very relatively low. But the indexes right now, we're going to tick over 3 billion shares with an hour to go. So there's going to be a little bit of what's going on out there. But to me, I guess overnight, it's going to be more about what the dollar does. And we'll see about that. Anyway, we'll look at a few more stocks. Someone wanted to know why Intel wasn't rallying today. And I didn't have anything that I saw, INTC, other than it was down on a big day like this. And I don't think you can say a great deal of it. Maybe if this ends up being a trend. But as I said before, this thing did go through the October 10th high that had 75 million shares with 44 million shares on January 27th. So you had a test of the highs on light volume. And if we even back this up, you had a lot of juice back into this February 11th low of 2016 up to that October 10th high. You pulled back, had some decent energy for not much of a pullback, about a $4 pullback of that huge move. And then the energies kind of come out all the way up to the January 27th high. Again, volume increased a little bit back down to the and energy back to the February 10th high. So I could see this thing kind of in a trading range from about the 33.42 level up to that 38 level. My guess is it's going to take some consolidation before it ever takes out that $38 or $38.50 level for a while. What else do we have? Somebody wanted to look at Twitter. I don't think there's a whole lot in this one. In fact, I think there's a lot of danger in this. They were one of the companies that were threatening to roll out some Big Brother kind of ways of making sure everybody had their safe space on Twitter. To me, that kind of takes out the reason to be on Twitter. It's kind of yelling food fight and having everybody in a with handcuffs on. You got to be able to throw some stuff on the internet. That's why people go there. They don't go there not to be insulted or made fun of. They go there to be made fun of. And that's the problem. What if you take out all the horrible things on the internet? Would people go there? I don't think so. They love horrible things. 2,400 in the S&P cash. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.